من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله وعلى أهل بيتك المظلومين صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة ويا عبرة كل مؤمن ومؤمنة يا غريب يا شهيد كربلاء فيا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. قال الله الحكيم في محكم كتابه الشريف وقوله حق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا تكونوا كالتي نقضت غزلها من بعد قوة أنكاثا. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Illuminate your hearts and minds with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We see in society sometimes a person who has a high value, has a high dignity, has created his life perfectly. We see them in a very high value, in a very high statement, in a high circumstances. He's very good, she is very good, has a great family, has a great job. Everything's perfect. Suddenly one act they do and everything corrupts. And you ask yourself, why did they do this? What happened suddenly? They were good. Everything was good. It was like a normal life. They were perfect. Suddenly they do something wrong and they corrupt after that. What happens to our minds that we act like this sometime? That person, why did he act like that? What happened to him? What happened to her? That suddenly with that great family, he started backbiting. She started to corrupt that family. Just one act. They had a great job. Suddenly they do a bad thing. They do a bad deal with somebody. On purpose. You see, it's not like a mistake. No, on purpose. When you talk with him, he says that was good. That thing that I did was good. But when you look at it, it was corruption. And after that, their life is a downhill. What happened suddenly? To answer this question, we go back 14 centuries and see the sermons of the Ahlul Bayt. Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam have these sermons, have these khutbah, that they are a school of knowledge. It has tawheed in it, it has nubuwwah, it has imamah, it has all of our usul ad-din. All of the roots of religion are in this khutbah. And also all furu' ad-din, all the things they talk in this khutbah. If we look at the khutbah, the sermon of Fadakiyah from Bibi Fatima, after what happened to her, you see she starts with Tawheed and she explains it so beautiful. How is God? How do we believe in God? And then she explains all the reasons about prayer. Why do I pray? Why do I fast? What's the reason of them? And then the person, the human, in what statement they are in all history. She explains it so beautifully. This khutbah on that day is a lesson, is a school of Ahlul Bayt. All of the khutbah of them are like this. One of the khutbahs that we have, one of the sermons that we have is Bibi Zainab salamullah alayha when she enters Kufa. When she enters Kufa, she starts to give the sermon. And they say, those people that were in Kufa, they say that we have never seen somebody with this much dignity, a woman with this much dignity, and a high value, have given this sermon this perfectly. And like she was Amir al-Mu'mineen. How do we say Amir al-Mu'mineen had the highest grammar? He has Nahj al-Balagha, he has Ghurar al-Hikam. All of them are beautifully. A woman talks like her. And we forget about this sermon sometimes. Yes, Amir al-Mu'mineen, we see the Nahj al-Balagha, this book, this beautiful book, that each khutbah, each sentence, each word of it is a lesson for our entire life. But his own daughter has given one great sermon? Bibi Zainab in her entire life gives 2 sermons. One of them is Kufa, one of them is in Sham. So it must be valuable. Amir al-Mu'mineen has more than 50 khutbah, more than 50 sermons. But Bibi Zainab has these 2, and they say it was like Amir al-Mu'mineen. So why don't we analyze it? We go back and see what Bibi Zainab talks about. It shows us, it gives us a perspective, it gives us a sight about what in that day, what happened to Kufa. Kufa in that time, they have seen Amir al-Mu'mineen. Amir al-Mu'mineen's government was in Kufa. The capital was Kufa. Today's Najaf, near Najaf, was Kufa. What happened suddenly that Kufa that has saw the justice of Amir al-Mu'mineen suddenly changes 180 degrees? That same Kufa they sent 18,000 letters, it suddenly changes. They bring Imam Hossein and they laugh, they mock. They torture they take them as captives. What happens? That Kufa, what happens to it? So there must be something that happens. And Bibi Zainab, salamullah alayha, she talks it perfectly. That what happened to them. Bibi Zainab says in this khutbah that these Kufa, she uses this verse that I recited in the beginning. She tells them that mathalakum, you people in Kufa are like what? You people are in Kufa are like a woman كَمَثَلِ الَّتِي نَقَضَتْ قَزْلَهَا مِنْ بَعْدَ قُوَّةٍ أَنْكَاثًا. You people are in Kufa are like a woman who, exactly like a woman who untwists her spun thread after it was made strong. Her hair, she has tied it, or the rug, she has tied it very strongly, and then after that they open it. You have given a promise, and then after that you open that promise. You promise to the Ahlul Bayt, you promise the Amir al-Mu'mineen, you promise Imam Hussein, if you come to Kufa, we will support you. And then you rip that. You destroyed it. You are like these people. So what happened to you? Why are you like this? Don't be like this. What happened to you? When we enter the narrations that we have, we see that their problem comes from 2. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, he tells us this beautiful narration that people are divided by 3. And when we look at these 3, we see that the people of Kufa are the 3rd. What are they? He says that الناس ثلاثة فعالم رباني. The first group is those that are knowledgeable, alim, and they are godly, knowledgeable people. Alimun Rabbani. Who are they? In other narrations, we see that they are Ahlul Bayt. Those are the wali, those are the wasi, the guardians that we have, Ahlul Bayt, the imams, the prophets. Those are Alimun Rabbani. They are connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These peoples, Alimun Rabbani. The second group, who are they? وَمُتَعَلِّمٌ عَلَى سَبِيلِ النِّجَاةِ. The second are those that are not attached to Allah directly, but they want to learn. They are students in the way of Allah, in the path of Allah. They are students. They attach themselves to the Alimun Rabbani. So there is God, and then there's Alimun Rabbani, and then there's Muta'allimun. They are those people who learn from these, who learn from the Ahlul Bayt. They are attached to them. And inshallah, all of us will be the second group. We should be like the second group. Always attach ourselves to somebody that is greater than us, somebody that is better than us. And those are Ahlul Bayt. Be attached to that Alimun Rabbani. The third group that were the Kufi, those that were in Kufa, who are they? وَهَمَجٌ رُعَى. Hamajun Ru'a means a wind crowd. Somebody that is after wind. It's just like when wind goes this side, they go this side. If wind goes that side, they go that side. Hamajun ru'a. Each side the wind goes, they go after it. Hamajun ru'a. They don't have a great background. They don't have a great. And the Kufians were this third one, that they didn't attach them. Look, two of them had knowledge. Either they were knowledge, like the godly, knowledgeable men that we have, or they attached themselves to that knowledge. The third group, when we see, they don't have knowledge. And Amir al-Mu'minin describes them, أَتْبَاعُ كُلِّ نَاعِقٍ يَمِيلُونَ مَعَ كُلِّ رِيحٍ. Wherever the wind goes, they go after it. Whenever somebody shouts louder, if they are more louder, if they talk more perfectly, talk beautiful, they go after them. Only by them talking. They talk strong. That person, he knows how to talk. That person talks very strict, talks very perfectly, shouts more, has a louder voice. They go after them. They are not after knowledge. لم يستضيئوا بنور العلم. They don't want the light of ilm. They don't want the light of knowledge. So the Kufans were these people. They didn't go after knowledge. They didn't have knowledge. They weren't in this path. That's what happened to them. That's why they were the third group. Because they didn't want knowledge. And Imam Hossein alayhi salam, before he enters Karbala, he also describes them. Let's ask Imam Hossein. This was from the time of Amir al-Mu'minin. Let's ask Imam Hossein alayhi salam. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. He says, Ad-nas abidu dunya wa din la'iqun ala al-sanatihim. People in that time were servants to this world. Were servants to this world. They were attached so much to this world that this world blinded them. They were blinded by this world. That's what happened to them. They saw Imam Hussein from one side, and then they saw the money that Muawiyah, Yazid promised them. The money, the ray, the promise that they were given, that blinded them. And he says, فَإِذَا مُحِسُوا بِالْبَلَاءِ قَلَّ الدَّيَانُونَ. Whenever they are tested, they were tested. That time, that was a test. That was an exam. Will you choose Imam Hussein? Or will you choose this world? Whenever they are tested, قَلَّ الدَّيَانُونَ. Those that choose religion are so little. They are the minority. The majority is with world. And that's what was their problem. In that time, they had these two problems. One, they didn't have the knowledge. Second, the world blinded them. This wasn't what happened in that time. They suddenly changed. Why? They weren't attached to somebody. And they loved this world so much. We have narration, حُبُّ الدُّنْيَا رَأْسُ كُلَّ خَطِيئَةٍ. If you love this world, everything that is corrupted is from حُبُّ الدُّنْيا, is from the love of this world. Look at it. Just analyze this world. You see robbery is because of this world. You see corruption is because of this world. Whatever you see wars is because of this world. They want more money, they go to fight with the country. They want more money, they kill their own relatives. They want more money, they rob. They want more money, they bribe. Everything is because of this world. Either it's money, either it's pleasure, it's all this world. It's attached to this world. Nobody just because they love corruption. No, they don't. It's not that. It's just they want to reach a worldly goal. Yes, some are lunatics, some are crazy, yes. But it's so little, like 1%, that they love the feeling of corruption. No, they are lunatics. The reason after that is the world. Ask anybody that is corrupted, why did you do this? I wanted more money. Why did you do this? I wanted to reach to her. Why did you do this? Because of my friend that he did this, I wanted to be like him. I was envy, I was jealous. He had so much money, I wanted to be like him. Why did you cheat this? Why did you do that this? All the reasons. You can't ask somebody, why did you rob? Because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody's going to say that. Why did you kill this person? Why did you assassinate him? Because of Allah. Nobody's going to say that. I'm telling you, some are lunatics, some are crazy. Yes, I'm not talking about that percentage. Mostly it's because of this. حُبُّ الدُّنْيَا رَأْسُ كُلِّ خَطِيئَةٍ. This world, love to this world, attachment to this world is the problem. The Kufa was exactly like this. The perfect example is Kufa. They saw Amir al-Mu'minin. When you see it, we haven't seen the justice of Amir al-Mu'minin. We only heard it. We are the people that they yu'minuna bil-ghayb. We are the people that have iman, faith in the ghayb, in the unseen. And alhamdulillah, we have that belief. May God make it more, inshallah. But when you see it, you are responsible in a different way. When you see Amir al-Mu'minin, inshallah, when we see our Imam, we are more responsible. You have seen him, still you don't believe in him, still you turn your back to him. That's different. That's why we blame the Kufa so much. It wasn't that they didn't have knowledge. No, they had knowledge. They have seen the Ahlul Bayt. That's why we blame them. That's why we say we don't want to be like them. Why? Because they have it's not like a city in Iran. No, it's not like a city in America. No, they have seen Amir al-Mu'minin just 20 years before that. They have seen Amir al-Mu'minin. And after that, they have changed 180 degrees. These are the son of Amir al-Mu'minin. And when Bibi Zainab enters Kufa, some of those were still there. They were the people of the time of Amir al-Mu'minin. And when they find out it's Bibi Zainab, they change. Why? Because the propaganda there, they told them that these were Khawarij. These were the outsiders. They didn't believe in Allah. And when they found out that this is the daughter of that Ali ibn Abi Talib, that they tell that Amir al-Mu'minin each night went to the house of the orphans and he would have given food. There would no more money in that bank, whatever they had in that time. There was no more money. Each night Amir al-Mu'minin would finish it by giving it charity to all people. No Baytul Mal was still in that. He would brush, he would clean the place that they kept Baytul Mal each night. That means he didn't keep anything for himself. He would all give it into charity. This person with this justice, this person that they say each night he used to recite 1,000 rak'ahs. This person with this belief, this person with that bravery that they know about the fights, and her daughter is a Khawarij. Her daughter, Bibi Zainab, is somebody that's outsider, doesn't have religion just by one generation. She was raised by Amir al-Mu'minin. She saw Amir al-Mu'minin. She was old by that time. So she wasn't a kid, so you can say, no, she wasn't raised by Amir. No, she was raised by Amir al-Mu'minin. So what happened there? They couldn't believe that these are Khawarij, so a lot of them turned back. They say, we know this family. This family, these are the peoples that were justice. Whoever wanted to give a darbul mathal, who wanted to give an example, it was them. Who wanted to say the justice, they would say the justice of Ali. The braverness of Ali alayhi salam. So what happened? That this corruption, they saw Amir al-Mu'minin and then they corrupted. These were the two reasons. One, they were so attached to this world that this world blinded them. Second, they weren't attached to a knowledgeable person, to a source, to a pillar. They weren't attached to that. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So what should we do? what should we do if we don't want to be like Kufans, those that were in Kufa? We, in the time of our Imam, today's Friday, we want to attach to our Imam, inshallah. How should I be? I don't want to be like this. If the Imam comes, he reappears. God forbidden, I don't want to be like a Kufa, a person that was in Kufa. What should I do? First of all, the first narration, it's not more than that. And the Quran, we recited in Ayatul Kursi. What do we say? فَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِالطَّاغُوتِ وَيُؤْمِنْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدْ اسْتَمْسَكَ بِالْعُرْوَةِ الْوُثْقَى لَا انْفِصَالَ لَهَا. If you believe in Allah and disbelief in Taghut, in Shaitan, what happens? You go and attach to Urwatul Wuthqa. Urwatul Wuthqa is the strong pillar. Narrations we have that they are Ahlul Bayt. Urwatul Wuthqa, the strong rope that we want to attach, is Ahlul Bayt. Go attach to them. In every difficulties and every test we see, let's go back to them. They have never failed a test. So why shouldn't you be like them? Be attached to them. They have never failed. Give me one example that they have failed in their exams. The prophets, some of them failed in their top exams. Adam, we see he failed when it wasn't a sin, yes, but it was tarkul Ola. Tarka Ola. They shouldn't do that, and it wasn't a sin. But they failed in that exam. She shouldn't went there and ate that apple or that forbidden fruit that was on that tree. He shouldn't do that. Prophet, we see Prophet Musa, we see Prophet Nuh. They were examined hard and some of them failed. It was Tarkul Ola. They shouldn't have done that. But in Ahlul Bayt, can you give me an example? Every exam that they worked through. Amir al-Mu'minin was examined by the death of Bibi Fatima. Prophet was examined by the people of that time. And that's why we have narrations that the Prophet, he is the one that has most hurtened by the people, even more than Imam Hossein, they say. Imam Hossein was killed in that way. They say the Prophet was more attacked, more disbelieved, more hurt by the people of that time. Why? Because the people of that time, look at that exam, the people of that time were ignorant. They couldn't understand. They would understand. They wouldn't believe. The Prophet fought with the ignorance, with Jahiliyyah. And that's hard. When you talk to a child that doesn't understand you, you get so frustrated. Like, why don't you understand some logical thing that I'm telling you? It makes you more old when you see a child that doesn't understand you. It makes you age. Why? Because it's ignorance. You feel that pain in your hearts. That I'm telling him something that he should know, that kid should know. You feel that pain in your heart. And that pain in your heart hurts you more than the pain on your body. If somebody scrabs you with a knife, you don't feel that much pain that when your hurt is hard. The ignorance in that time were more tested. Imam Musa al-Kadhim, he was tested by his people, by prison. He was tested in that time. Imam Rida was tested by Ma'mun. None of them failed. Imam Hussein by Karbala. None of them failed. Whatever they say, they will say, Allah, Allah. Ma ra'aytu illa jamila. Bibi Zainab is saying, whoever was tested in this path, we see Prophet Ishaq, Prophet Ismail, in that time, how he was tested. He almost failed that. 3 times they went to his sleep that you have to give this as a sacrifice, your kid. He couldn't do it. 3 times. After 3 times he believed. But when they come to the Prophet and tell him that your grandson will be murdered, will be martyred on the day of Ashura, in this way he never says why. He accepts it. So give me a higher example in value than the Ahlul Bayt. In ethics, we see they are the most highest. In their beliefs, we see they are the most highest. In their acts, in their exams, they passed it all 100%. So we have to be attached to them. We can't be like them because they were infallible. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them strength. After they were tested by Allah, Allah said that you are chosen. I tested you. You are chosen right now. We can't be like them, at least act like them. At least try to be like them. At least be like one of their companions. When Imam Hossein says, I don't know anybody awfa, more loyal and more better than these people, why shouldn't be us in the time of our Imam be like them? Look what the companions had. At least act like them. Try to be like them. It's hard. I know it's hard. I'm not saying it's an easy task. Being like the Ahlul Bayt, acting like them. It's a hard difficulty. In this worldly day that we have today, it's hard to us to attach them. But at least try to be that. At least be in that path. So we can be muta'allimun. Not hamijun ru'at. If we don't attach, each day one political person comes and said this is right. Each day one knowledgeable person that we think he has knowledge says this is correct. And just because he says it beautifully, we say, okay, yeah, that's correct. We go in that path. No, it shouldn't be like this. Be strong. Have your own belief. And be attached to Ahlul Bayt. Analyze everything with Ahlul Bayt. Somebody says something, go ask about it. See, really, do the Ahlul Bayt believe in this? You see something in this world, you don't need know if it's halal, if it's haram. Go and tell the Ahlul Bayt. Those that know the rules of the Ahlul Bayt, go ask them. Is this right? If I'm doing this right? This work that I want to enter, is it right? This school that I want to go, is it right? Am I in the correct path? Go ask them. Each day, ask Ahlul Bayt. Ask your Imam. Inshallah, he will correct you if you are in the wrong path. He wants you to ask him, Ya Sahib al-Zaman, am I in the right path? Am I in your path? Please, if I'm not, correct me. You know how, I don't know how it will happen, but you will correct me. Be attached to him every day. Be like a companion to him. He is not visible to us, but he is in this world. He's our 12th Imam. So be attached to him. The first thing was this. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The second thing is still in this path, still in this way, is we have to find certainty. We have this beautiful narration that says that Noam وَنَوْمٌ عَلَى يَقِينٍ خَيْرٌ مِّن صَلَاةٍ فِي الشَّكِّ. If you sleep, but you have certainty, it's better than that prayer that you have doubt. If you are certain about your belief system and you sleep, it's better than doing ibadah. It's better than you worshipping Allah, but you are in the statement of doubt. You doubt Allah, but you pray. I'm forced to. You're not certain by Allah, but you pray. Sleeping and you have certainty, that's better. Find your belief system. Most 80% of our problems we see is by that we don't have that correct belief. If we were strong in our belief, then we will worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the perfect way. If we believe what Allah is, then we will worship Him. Amir al-Mu'mineen says that I don't worship Allah because of heaven or hell. I obey Allah. I worship Him. Why? Because He is worthy of worship. I know Allah and then I worship Him. Not that because I'm forced. Not that because if I don't pray, I will go to hell. If I pray, I don't pray. If I don't pray, I go to hell. If I pray, I go to Jannah. Not because of that, but because of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. He is my creator. He is my khaliq. He is my raziq. He gives every blessing to me. So why shouldn't I worship this? I have to understand who He is. And then after that, what happens? He has sent a prophet for us to believe in Him. So why don't I go after them? I believe in Prophet. What is prophethood? He is infallible. He is the messenger of Allah. So I go after him. What does he say? He says imamah. leadership, guardianship of the Ahlul Bayt. And after that, what do I see? I see adl, justice. I see ma'ad, the hereafter. And then after that, I see the prayers. After I have strengthened my roots beliefs, my core, and then after that, I can go after my prayer. My asl, my roots should be strong, and then the branches will be strong. But if I just give water to the branches, I pay attention to the branches, but not to the roots from inside will rot. And from inside we will corrupt. We pray one day with doubt. Is this really Allah? Who am I praying to? The second day still I pray because of my father. The third day my father isn't here. I'm going to only pray like act to pray. The fourth day I'm not going to pray anymore. I'm not going to fast. I'm just going to act. I will go in my room on the month of Ramadan. I will eat whatever I want. When I come outside in front of my father, in front of my mother, I will not eat. In the majlis, I will be the best. In the house, I will be the worst. In the majlis, I'm a mercy. I have beautiful manners. Inside the house, I'm the worst person that you can talk to. Why? Because I didn't correct my belief system. The belief system says don't be a munafiq. Don't be a tyrant. Don't be somebody that has two different acts. Be like straight. If you are good, be good. That's the belief we have. If you believe in Allah, you won't act differently. In a place, in a community that everybody is good, everybody is praying, I will pray. But if I go with my friends that they don't pray, I'm not going to pray. Why? Because I'm hamajun ru'a. I will go with the wind. When I'm inside the community, everybody says Ya Hossein. When I go outside, nobody says Ya Hossein. So I'm not going to say it. Hamajun ru'a. Whatever the side is. God forbid it. If after 100 years, after 50 years, nobody remembers Imam Hussein alayhi salam, you will not remember him too. Why? Because you're after what the popularity says, what the majority says. You're hamajun ru'a. You don't have that certainty. You didn't believe in that certainty. Just because of mostly the viral thing today is Islam, you become a Muslim. But after that, if the viral thing becomes Christianity, you become Christian. You didn't believe in that Islam that you were. These were the problems of the Kufians. And that's why what they did to Imam Hussein, that is the reason. Those that believed in Imam Ali alayhi salam, after Ibn Ziyad comes, they say, okay, everybody is with Ibn Ziyad, let's be with Ibn Ziyad. Let's be with him. Yesterday, Amir al-Mu'mineen was the governor. Today, Ibn Ziyad is the governor. Let's be with Ibn Ziyad. He gives money, let's be with him. He's famous, let's be with him. The vibe today is Ibn Ziyad. Yesterday was Ali, today is Ibn Ziyad. Each day we change. And that's why what they did to Bibi Zainab in Kufa, that's the reason. How they treated Bibi Zainab. They believed in her, still they treated her like this. Why? Because they changed the belief side. What they did with the heads of Ahlul Bayt in Kufa, in history we don't have it. In history we don't have what they did. To such high value people, what the Kufians did, we don't have it. That's why we blame them so much. That's the reason. Let me just recite some of what happened. What happened on those days? The historians have written this down. Sallallahu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. What happened on those days? After the day of Ashura, they went toward Kufa. Ibn Ziyad, what did he say? He said, وَمَا قُتِلَ قَتِيلٌ. No martyr was slain on that day, إِلَّا احْتَزُّوا رَأْسَهُ. Except that they severed his sacred head. and carried it to Ibn Ziyad. They severed every head on the day of Ashura. Those blessed head of the Ahl al-Bayt alayhimus salam, it was severed on that day. And Ibn Ziyad, what did he tell the people? Inna Ibn Ziyad nasaba ru'usa kullaha bil kufa ala al-khashab. He told everybody that raised upon these heads upon wooden spears in Kufa, so everybody can see what I have done. They say that it was more than 70 heads in that city, the heads of the blessed of the Ahl al-Bayt, the progeny of the Prophet. After that, Amara ibn Ziyad bira's al-Hussein, he ordered that they bring the head of Imam Hussein to his front, to him. And that time, what did they say? They say, Innahu. What happened? Ya Allah, Ya Allah. The tragedy stems from now. Ya Allah. That day, Hussein, with that high value, what happened to his head? إنه لما جيء برأس الحسين عليه السلام, when they brought the head of Imam Hussein عليه السلام to the majlis of Ibn Ziyad, أمر فوضع بين يديه في طست من ذهب. Ibn Ziyad commanded to be placed before him in the basin of pure gold. He then وجعل يضرب بغضيب في يده على ثنايا. He then took a cane in his hand and began to strike the blessed teeth of the Imam and started to mock him. لقد أسرع الشيب إليك يا أبا عبد الله. Old age has surely rushed towards you, O Aba Abdullah. He started to mock him. He didn't know what happened in Karbala, why he was old. He said that I knew your beard was not this white at that time. Why have you aged? Bibi Zainab tells him, Ibn Ziyad, what did you do in Karbala? If you were there, you would have seen Imam Hussein. After that, he lost Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. After that, he lost Ali al-Akbar. That's why he has age. وَسَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا أَيَّ مُنْقَلَبٍ يَنْقَلَبُونَ. ماتم الحسين.